What if I told you that Van Gogh's Starry Night was inspired by an Asian artwork? Welcome to a new series where I try to decode Asian artworks in under 2 minutes. The word is try. Now, this idea comes from an art historian, Martin Bailey, who's a Van Gogh specialist. He argues that Van Gogh was a devoted collector of Japanese woodblock prints and a huge admirer of Hokusai's Under the Wave of Kanagawa, also known as the Great Wave. He even wrote to his brother Theo about it, describing Hokusai's waves as claws. And while not everyone agrees on a direct link, many art historians do believe that the Starry Night was part of a larger wave of Japonisme that influenced the post-impressionist artists in the 19th century. That said, most critics still argue that the Starry Night's swirling sky reflects Van Gogh's emotional and psychological state rather than a specific visual source. Anyway, here's what really surprised me. When I asked my friends about the Great Wave, almost no one mentioned Mount Fuji or the boats, but everyone only remembered the wave. Another thing that surprised me is that most people assume it's a painting when actually it's a wood block print. Hokusai made this work in his 70s at the height of his career. It's part of a print series called 36 Views of Mount Fuji, which shows the mountain in different locations, seasons, and weather conditions. Various interpretations are made about the Great Wave, and I'd love to hear your interpretation of this piece. But the way the Western audience often reads the wave as is emotional turmoil, existential dread, or man versus nature, but through a Japanese Edo period lens, where coexisting with the nature is the core belief, the meaning changes completely. Nature, or shizen, is not seen as something to be conquered. It's something you live within. Some interpretations also focus on Mount Fuji, where the wave appears to threaten the sacred cultural symbol of Japan, which in a period when the country was largely closed off to foreign powers, may have echoed anxieties about external forces arriving by sea. At the same time, Fuji remains unmoved. In Japanese thought, Mount Fuji represents stability, endurance, and spiritual grounding. It reflects a worldwide view where people rely on skill and discipline, where they accept impermanence without despair and exist as part of the nature, not separate from it. Ending this video with this emoji, which I believe has been inspired by the Great Wave, which won't be such a far-fetched idea because these other two emojis have also been inspired by Japanese culture.